Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 15th of November. My name is Philip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Peer.
Gary, the big countdown has started.
The final countdown.
My feet can almost feel the sand between my toes as we head towards the end of the year, the final countdown before we ratchet it up for 2023. But we are taking a break and I'm looking forward to it. But bring on everything in front of me until the end of the year because I've got energy to burn.
Too early to think break, Phil. We've just got too much work to do. And in terms of the sand and the all that sort of imagery, I hope you're going somewhere warmer than Melbourne because what's this bloody rain?
I was looking at Sunday's weather forecast on Saturday, and Saturday's forecast for Sunday said it was going to rain all day Sunday, and yet it poured with rain Saturday night, poured itself out. So that Sunday was actually a really good day.
Well, it's like, you saw that episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where the weatherman predicts rain and everybody abandons their golf plans and he's got the golf course to himself because it's actually a dry day. Someone sees him out there and goes, aha, that was the motivation. So you somehow wonder what these weathermen or weather people think, Philip, because really
weather people,
the predictions aren't right.
Weather people.
Weather people, person, or however you'd like to identify as a weather predictor. But look, because of Cranbourne on Friday, which I did have a bit of a hit, Phil, on my day off and thought it was going to be raining then as well, but it was it was dry as. Anyway, this is not a weather show.
And Gary has referred to his golf game on Friday at Cranbourne as his day off. But should you need Gary 24/7, 365, he might be swinging a golf club, but he will take your call.
Well, much to the dismay and disappointment and distress of my fellow golfers, I have been known to do a few deals out there on the golf course. But as the famous Renee Rifkin once said, Phil, he said, I talk golf during work and I talk golf during work.
Take a moment.
I talk golf during work, and when I'm golfing, I'm talking working. That's it.
Yeah, that was very, very clumsy, but I'm pretty sure the viewers understand what you're talking about. Gary, interesting weekends. We had a big weekend.
I think we could do just a little mini boast. It won't be a loud one, but 73% versus 60%. Put the towers up quickly.
Correct. I mean, that's quite an impressive boast, really, because it is over 20%
more than the industry
average.
Which is probably a bit less than 60%, truth be told.
It felt a bit tougher on the weekend. I don't know about you, but
it wasn't an easy weekend.
No.
And you had a very full Sunday. I was feeling so. I even offered to go and get you a schnitzel sandwich, which I don't often do. I don't often have that level of sympathy for you, but I did on Sunday. I said, let me go and get you a schnitzel sandwich or some chicken soup, and you declined both.
Yeah, but
do you think you're better off for it?
It was hot and muggy yesterday, and you're offering me chicken soup.
I had a soup for lunch too. When you've got that Austrian heritage, you have soup anywhere.
Yeah, that's it.
You just can't help it.
It doesn't matter whether
you
could be at Ayers Rock in the middle of summer, and if somebody says
Bali,
soup, all the Austrians would say, that's
it. If have the soup, we're happy.
And a shout out to all of our Austrian clients. Yes. We do adore you, and we do love your choice of soup.
Yes. Exactly right.
Gary, but coming back to my central proposition,
have you remembered it?
Felt a little bit.
Do you walk into rooms and forget why you're there?
Occasionally.
I do that now. Did you ever used to do that before? And hey, I want to ask you something else as well. When you're like you're a dad, right? You're a dad of two magnificent young men.
Yes.
But when does it go from being, because when your kids are really little, you're dada, right?
Yeah.
Then you go to daddy, because first when they just say, they look up and you go, dada, and you think, oh my God, they know I'm your dad. And then you go to daddy, right? Then you go to dad, and then you become this just this person that's just in the way of everything.
So
your jokes are bad.
I brought our children up
jokes.
Slightly differently because I come from a relatively formal background,
respectful.
So my children were taught right from birth that I was Mr. Kingston, and
that
was Mrs. Kingston.
Fair enough.
And if they
a clip over the ear if they got it wrong.
And if they didn't want to call me Mr. Kingston, I said to them, "Sir is okay."
Fair enough.
And I said,
"That was good. You're flexible."
I said, "Children are best observed, not listened to."
Fair enough. And they presented themselves before they went to bed. Then Dad's home. Quickly, kids, run down. Dad's here. Present themselves. Back to bed. See you later. Is that right?
Correct.
Lovely. Well, I can tell you now, I know that's not true, but I wonder how, I reckon I'm the most disregarded person in our house now. I mean, the dog comes in and everyone goes, oh, I come in and I could just come in.
Well, I mean, look.
I could walk in naked and no one would even notice that I'm
they would
they might
notice that.
Okay, I shouldn't have thrown that line out there. But I got to tell you, and it's like now every time I say a joke,
you did that,
I stay away from
all
it.
refer to, here's little Gary.
Okay. So I get referred to now with dad jokes, not little Gary. They're dad jokes, right? They become dad. I can't make a joke without being a dad joke. I'm not heard of anymore. I just wonder what the age is. Maybe some viewers can help me. Some viewer feedback.
What is
here.
the tipping point?
What's the tipping point between being hero to dag to loser to invisible?
Yeah,
because I'm now invisible.
Yeah. Well, I reckon,
I'm just a nuisance.
I reckon invisible for you. Mid-30s?
Is that right? What, the kids or me when I was mid-30s?
No, you were mid-30s. Yeah, well, you were pretty much invisible.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, I'd love some viewer feedback. Is it just me, or has any other dad feeling that
Gary,
kind of
going back
lack
to my
of respect and
central
love?
proposition, because this is a real estate show.
Well, no one really considers it a real estate show.
It's
really.
a real estate
show about nothing.
The market, Gary, the market, because everybody wants to know. My personal view of the market is that this is probably I reckon we're skirting along the bottom now. And I see that this market anytime could kick up, although if you listen to the bankers, they're all predicting that the first and second quarter of next year will be challenging. Interestingly, for us, I think the market's a bit self-regulating, because what happens is that those that don't need to sell have to sell. They're probably sitting on the sidelines. The activity that we're seeing out there is for the buyers that are going through the usual buyer journeys. You know, if you think about why people are selling at any point of time, there's always the people that have to sell, not the desperados. But, you know, I've made money, I've lost money, house is too big, house is too small, death, divorce. These are all of the
bank.
The bank. These are all of the usual things. But those that are just
discretionary sellers,
those that are a little bit more ambivalent are probably sitting on the sidelines. And I think the same thing with buyers.
I think we look at things through the lens of a seller mostly, because that's who employs us. Not that we don't consider buyers as important. Of course, parties to transaction can't do anything without a buyer, Phil, and they are also valued clients. But it is a seller at the end of the day, the employer. So we tend to see through things through the lens of a seller. But interestingly, in our sales meeting on Monday, Jeremy Rosens, who of course is a wise young man, not that young anymore actually, but a wise man. He's already a dad that's a dag as well.
He's invisible.
Well, he's not invisible yet. He's just a dag. He's just like, just a groan when he opens his mouth. I don't even get the groan. I just don't even get heard anymore. But he is a guy that made the point that, for buyers, that now their situation is, firstly, there's not that much around. Secondly, of course, interest rates have gone up. But interestingly, he said that, the bank is consistently revaluing the amount of money that they're getting. So they might say, look, Mr. Kingston, we'll give you $800,000, no problem. You're a good risk. Then the interest rates go up, and they call you next week and they go, look, we said 800,000, but it's now 750 that we're going to give you. Now it's 700, and that's what makes the market change. It's those sort of things that people don't necessarily actually have clearly in their view, Phil. But if you go into the space of a buyer, there's less around. The prices haven't come back that much, so buyers are finding it a little bit tricky. They have come back, and we've seen the case only on the weekend where a property came back sort of 3 times within the last 6 months, came back by 5% and another 5%. So we have seen a drop of 10%. I reckon 10% last 6 months is probably about right. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's
not for everything.
I think that's about right.
But it's not that easy for buyers or sellers at the moment, and so then we get in the middle of it. It's not that easy for us, but of course no one cries for the real estate agent, do they, Phil? I think it's all about us. But
anyway, this is my advice for all those that are watching, and for all of those that need some real estate advice. There is no question, and we've been doing this now for almost too long, years. Really. So we've seen the market go up, the market go down, but we still sideways to the left.
We're not going to do anything else. We couldn't do anything else. We don't know what else to do.
I think there's a buying opportunity, Gary, because those people that think the market's going to collapse, that never ever happens. We've seen it once in our 40 odd years. But ultimately, there is a buying opportunity. There is a small window where if you find the house that you love, you're probably going to pay less for it today than you would have paid 12 months, 2 years ago.
For sure. Yeah,
so when the market kicks again, and no one rings a bell at the bottom of the market, nobody rings a bell at the top of the market.
No, they don't.
But my sense, if I was a buyer...
I can't afford a bell at the bottom of the market.
If I was a buyer, I would have no problems getting into the market now, because if you're a buyer that's going to hold on to something for 10 years or more, which a lot of our buyers do, then this is just the usual cyclical blip. but when it pulls back, it never lasts for very long.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I don't agree with you because I want to, because I actually prefer to not agree with you because I always think it makes for lively debate and good banter. But I agree with you. And in fact, Sunday after the last auction you did, on Sunday when you jumped in the back of your freshly washed, beautifully leased Range Rover, you said to me, gee, this is a good time to buy.
Yep.
And I agree with you there, and I agree with you now because I think the interest rate rises, I think they've sort of come to an end. It feels like it. I mean, that's not a representation because the bank said, oh, we won't give you any. And then they just said, oh, by the way, here's 7, or however many it is.
Yeah.
But it just feels like the increases are lesser now. The percentage are lesser. The value is out there. We know that you can buy properties now less than you could. And there's not always that situation.
And they're already talking about reducing interest rates probably 2024.
There you go.
And 2024 is 13 months away.
It is
14 months away.
Indeed
So,
it is.
so viewers, keep in mind that these windows of opportunity only last very temporarily, but that's only in the last 300 years in Melbourne. So if you think for some reason that the last 300 years is no guide for the next 2 or 3 years, you're sorely deluded.
Perhaps, or we are. One or the other, time will tell. But we probably won't be around long enough for you to prove us wrong because in the short term, it looks very much to be that way. Phil, we should review some of our weekend auctions.
Let's do that, Gary.
We had some interesting ones. I jumped out of bed bright and early on Saturday morning, Phil, and ran down to Hyatt.
Yes.
I love Hyatt because it's one of those suburbs that was a sleeper for a long time.
Yes.
It's come to life. And there's a lot going on there. There's a lot of apartments being built. But if you go down Hyatt Road now, there are some great cafes and restaurants.
It's pumping
it is
there.
really pumping.
As
It's
it
changed
should
a
have
lot.
always, because if you think about it, if you look at the Sand Belt and,
Yep.
and you look at the whole Bay Belt, Hyatt really, it's kind of next door to Brighton in many ways.
It's not far, that's for sure. It's not far.
And you've got that whole...
Not quite next door. That's a little bit of a license
Well,
to
it's next
exaggerate.
door if you consider that Australia is a very large place.
Yes.
It's more next door to Brighton than Perth
If you looked from a telescope, right, of the world, and then you said, oh, that's just next door.
Correct.
Exactly. But if you had to walk, if you were in Brighton, you go, look, pop over to my place, I'm in Hyatt, just walk around the corner, you'd probably be found out. Yeah.
So it was always going to happen because Hyatt is somewhat close to Brighton.
Closer to Brighton than it is to Darwin.
You've got the whole Sandringham, Beaumaris.
Yes.
So it was only a matter of time. Foolish us, because we could have bought in Hyatt 10 years ago for a fraction of what things are selling for now.
And maybe foolish for the buyers that don't buy this property that we've got for sale, Phil, that not yet sold in Graham Road. It's 302, Philip, at 75 Graham Road, right above the Woolworths there with a beautiful view east towards the hills. That's $429,000. Shout out to the vendor who loves to watch this show, who desperately needs to get Netflix. But we will get that sold, Phil. $429,000. That is a snap purchase for somebody looking for a great investment. Phil, Wando Grove is a competitive auction. The price is undisclosed. I'm going to have a little referral here to the range, which was in that low ones, 1.1 to 1.210 I've got here. I'm not sure if that was the original range.
I'm going to tell you a lovely story
that ran
there.
away.
Price is undisclosed. We did sell it very well. And interestingly, the buyer was represented at the auction by the woman that actually did this development.
Is that right?
And I think the development's about 15 years old.
I remember when it was done.
And somehow she knew the buyer that wanted to buy there.
Full loop.
That's just one of those lovely little real estate stories.
Wow, love to hear that. Phil, that was sold competitively under the hammer. I mean, we talked again about ranges last week. Our heading was price ranges and the relevance to what properties are selling for. We're seeing far more properties now sell in the range. There are a few go over the range, and we talk about those, of course, but there's a lot going inside, and even the odd property selling under the range out there in the marketplace. So for those buyers that might be stuck in 2021 thinking everything's going to sell for 10% over the range, which often was the case in that rising market, don't think that now. Just go and have a crack at anything interesting in the range.
100%. If you look at the range and you think, yep, that's a property that I like to look at, do not take it for granted that it's just going to sell at the top end of the range and more, because there are a lot of properties that are selling.
You've got to get out there and look at everything at the moment, Phil. 371 Kooyong Road. Well, that was sold for the top of the range there, 1,650. Took a day after the auction.
Yeah, that was interesting, Gary, because I did the auction. There was a small crowd there. We had an expression of interest from one buyer.
Nice spot.
And we said to the vendor, look, don't worry, we'll get you more. And I said to them, my words were, look, it might take us a few days, a few weeks, but we'll get you more.
And lo and behold, 24 hours later. got the asking price, so well done, which became the reserve, of course, on the day. 1317 Glen Huntly Road, well, we tipped that was going to be a popular property, Phil. We had 5 bidders fighting out that one in that very low ones. That tends to be a very popular range now. The heat of the market, if you want to know a tip of where the heat is, it's kind of between 800 and 1.3, Phil. There's a lot of action in that particular pocket. Do you know why?
Go on, tell me.
I have no idea. I just thought you might know. Let's move on to 2 at 4 Kent Grove. I want to yell out a call out or
shout
out.
It's called a shout out.
I want to shout out to the vendors. Congratulations on the sale of that property. I know it was a very emotional sale, but well done to the vendors who sold that one. Again, the range there was 16 to 175. Did sell above the range, but congratulations to the vendors there. Price undisclosed. And Phil, a property that isn't undisclosed is 123 Hotham Street. It was as easy as 123 your last auction for Sunday, and that one sold for a disclosed price, Philip, within the range of $1,840,000. Congratulations, been the same family for many years.
And lovely family too,
Yes,
Gary.
indeed.
There was all of the extended family there, and it was lovely.
Putting them under the spotlight.
And they were very pleased to see another young family buy in, a couple with 2 children.
Indeed.
And it's just kind of nice to see that generational change.
Phil, we just can't wait for the weekend. We've got 23 auctions coming up, and we're going to start off in Wednesday night at 6 p.m. A little bit of a twilight auction. I know you love a twilight auction, don't you?
I do.
And this special property, which we've talked about on GPTV before, is at number 92 Clarence Street, Caulfield South. 5-bedroom home, Phil, in a great location.
Gary, fabulous home, 5 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking, wraparound garden areas, just exquisite inside.
Looking forward to that one going to the market. It may be sold before, but if not, come along to the auction on Wednesday night. Phil, we have double auction action on Saturday morning. We're going to be kicking off at 10:30 a.m. in Mullane Street, Bentleigh East. It's going to be your first auction of the year.
Gary, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a lock-up garage, wraparound garden areas, fabulous property and great location.
You have 4 auctions listed for this Saturday, Phil. 7 auctions listed, finishing at 4:30. 7 auctions listed for this Saturday. How are you going to go with that?
Oh, no big deal at all, Gary.
You've got a bit of a quiet Sunday, thankfully, but 7 auctions, that is a big day, I've got to say, Phil. But you are a man of steel, so no doubt you will emerge through unscathed. Our second auction, darling, is at 10:30 a.m. That's in Darling Street, of course, in South Yarra. And I'm pretty sure, Phil, that was the site of the old reception place, which was 9 Darling Street.
It was, Gary, and what a splendid reception centre that
Indeed,
was.
my sister got married there.
She did, and what a great night it was.
It was a great night.
3 bedrooms, 2 magnificent bathrooms, and it comes with a security car space. Why you'd need a car in Darling Street? Because you've got the train station
and the tram
on your doorstep, the tram, and all of those wonderful boutiques in Chapel Street.
Love that location, Phil, and Jeremy Rosen's looking forward to the auction. We've got triple auction action at 11:30 a.m, Phil. I'm going to be opening my auction account in Quinns Road in Bentleigh East.
Gary, that is the most amazing location, and this is a fabulous home.
Sure is.
4 beautiful bedrooms, 3 luxurious bathrooms, a lock-up garage, gorgeous garden areas. That is a fabulous home.
Looking forward to meeting Jan Dosen at that auction. Phil, you will not be able to be there because you're going to be meeting Joel Sir at 510 Dandenong Road in Caulfield North, a great address.
Gary, it is a great address, and interestingly, it's got a 2-street frontage. One of the frontages back is Alma Road, so you can park in Alma Road, you can park in Dandenong Road, or of course, you can park in your lock-up garage. This is a property with everything, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, front and rear gardens. That is a really lovely home.
I've always loved this block, Phil. They're great apartments in Orong Road, just near Dandenong Road. That is at 384 Orong Road. Jeremy Rosen conducts the auction.
It's
Daniel
a big
McMucker.
2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment, and with 3 car spaces, not 1 or 2, but 3 car spaces. Great location. Walk to the Alma Village.
Triple auction action at 12:30, Phil. We're going to be in Brighton East in Noel Street. Great address, good looking home.
Yeah, it is a beautiful home. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking there, and beautifully renovated throughout.
786 Dunoon Street, Murrumbina, goes to auction at 12:30, and it's Leor Samuel's first auction for a busy weekend.
And what a lovely apartment. Check out those beautiful polished timber floorboards, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 undercover carport. That's a great property.
We love Hudson Street, Caulfield North so much that we actually used to own a property there many years ago.
What a great tragedy. We still don't
We were
go.
in our teens, I think we bought it. At 19, we bought our first little 1-bedroom apartment there for $17,500, Phil. Shame we sold it, but we had to do something called opening up this business. So that fund
And we needed the money. This is 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, Gary, 1 car space. What's a lock-up garage, beautiful courtyard garden. That's a great entry into North Caulfield.
And I get to do the auction. Looking forward to that one, Phil. Double auction action at 1:30 p.m. Jeremy Rosen's is in Chapel Street. I auctioned one in this building and I love this position.
2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, and of course Chapel Street. Is there a better address?
Don't think so, Phil. You're going to be off from Brighton East to a pretty good address. That's Toorak. This time in 693 Orang Road, Toorak. Phil, you're going to be there at 1:30
Gary,
p.m.
stunning ground floor apartment, 2 bedrooms, 2 magnificent bathrooms, basement car parking, storage cages, storage units, and wraparound courtyard gardens. Walk to the Toorak village from there or just jump on the tram in Toorak Road.
And you'll have to jump on the southeastern, I think it is. Is that the freeway that goes through the back there?
Yep.
At Toorak, and you'll get across there to Murrumbina in no time at all to the auction that you're doing at 2:30. The only 2:30 auction, Phil, we've got in Kinloch Avenue in Murrumbina.
3 magnificent bedrooms, 1 bathroom, plenty of off-street car parking there, Gary. That's a really fabulous home on a fantastic parcel of land.
Phil, at 3:30, we're auctioning an apartment in Celeste Court, 9 at 2 Celeste Court. Glenn Brick has been handling this terrific 2-bedroom apartment in that great little quiet court just around the corner from all the Elmer Village action, Phil. 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 parking space. Jeremy Rosens is the auctioneer. That's part of double auction action at 3:30. You're going to be in Neville Street, Carnegie.
Gary, really looking forward to this. This is a fantastic home, 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, lock-up garage, extra car parking for as many as 3 cars. That is a fabulous home with incredible entertaining areas.
Now, I don't know when last time you were down Poth Road, Phil, but I actually was bidding at an auction for a client. Unfortunately, sorry, we couldn't get it for you on a Saturday last. You know, another agent, we do that for our clients. We go and bid at auction. And I did bid and gave it all I had to buy this property in Euston Road that was sold, unfortunately not to my client. But when I went down Poth Road, I thought, wow, I could feel the change there too, Phil.
Absolutely.
Great cafes,
Wine
great
bars.
shops. Great wine bars, really pumping. That whole pocket is just right through Carnegie, Murrumbina, Hughesdale into Chadstone is just fantastic. And we're auctioning 24 at 50 Poth Road. This time Leo Samuel gets the auction honours.
Gary, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, and be part of the new Murrumbina Hughesdale groove.
Phil, you'll have to leave Neville Street right on time because you are covering a lot of case on Saturday. You're going to be finishing off at 70 Crockford Street, Port Melbourne. Don't get a speeding ticket. Be careful on the roads, but you'll be auctioning this one on Saturday afternoon. What a great looking property.
Gary, we've got terrific opportunity here for 2 luxurious townhouses designed by Taylor Presley Architects and Interiors. Let the good times roll because all of the hard work's been done for you there.
So that's a busy Saturday over 10, I think approximately 10 suburbs, Phil. We have a busy Sunday as well. We're kicking off at 10:30 a.m. Hopefully you will have regained your strength and energy after that big Saturday because you're needed, Phil, at 10:30, 2 at 47 Armand Street, Caulfield South.
Beautiful home, this, Gary. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1 lock-up garage. Beautiful property and just magnificent in every detail.
Simon Rodolnik, wonderful auctioneer that he is looking forward to rolling up his sleeves on Sunday morning, auctioning his property in Estale Road. Fine looking and affordable property, Phil.
1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. Walk to the new East Caulfield Coles supermarket that's just opened, which is in the racecourse vicinity. If you haven't been there, check it out. It's a welcome addition to that pocket of East and North Caulfield.
And you know, we didn't talk about the sale in Octavia Street, Phil, but that was very popular. A lot of bidders.
Yep.
And you know, I just parked in this time, not Wilk Street, I got it wrong last time, Payne Street.
Yep.
And just walked on through. But gee, that whole little walkway through into the station is very convenient.
Incredible.
Isn't it? Great location. Phil, let's talk a little bit about Elizabeth Street. We love that address. Jeremy Rosens has the auction honours at 11:30 a.m. He's going to be meeting Glenn Bricker there.
2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 lock-up garage, Gary, courtyard gardens. That is a great property.
Confident, Phil, you'll be putting the soul sticker up in Raphael Street. It is such a good address, just opposite Lenny's. If you want to go to a great deli, go to Lenny's on Inkerman Street, but Raphael
Do you know
Street
what? I
is a
love
terrific
the
property.
name Raphael, Gary. We were going to call our youngest son Raphael, and then we just called him Ben.
Ben, yeah, fair enough.
So
Raphael was a bit long. Ben was a lot shorter.
Raphael, it's such a beautiful name.
It is.
I think it means lion, by the way. 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, a lock-up garage, fantastic courtyard gardens, beautiful parquetry
And what
floors.
does Ben mean? If Raphael meant lion and you went away from that,
Ben
what did
means clock.
Oh, fair enough. Good.
That's
Isn't
why
that
he's got
wonderful?
Big Ben.
Exactly right. Fantastic. He's a big Ben too. He's looking good these days. When I say big, tall, strong, he looks terrific.
strapping.
He's actually probably the tallest Kingston that there's ever been.
He is, yeah.
He is,
He's
isn't
the
he?
new
Yeah.
breed. He's the
new
new
breed.
version.
The new improved version, I might say. Phil, 12:30, we've got double auction action in Hewington Road. You'll be doing that auction. A nice, easy, soft Sunday for you after your busy Saturday.
Beautiful
Tell us about
property,
this home.
Gary. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, a lock-up garage at Hewington Road. We just love, and you'll love living in this property because it's special.
Simon Redolnick, second auction is at Sunday at 12:30, 42 Fitzgibbon Crescent. What a great address. Looking forward to that one. I know Salman is.
Beautiful property, 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking, swimming pool. Move straight into that home or explore future options, but that's a great opportunity because Fitzgibbon is a tremendous address.
Philip, hard to get a great house of this size on this size block of land in the sort of price range we're pitching this home at. 508 Hawthorne Road in Caulfield South. Has been the same family for many years, Phil. Looking forward to prizing that property away from them and selling it to somebody.
728 square metres of land, Gary, which is a massive block. Great opportunity there. It's so flexible. You've got so many different options that you can do there. But it's as simple as move straight in and get on with life.
Substantial home, Phil. Lots of accommodation and lots of living area as well. Look forward to seeing you there. That brings down the curtain on a busy Saturday, Philip. I should say a busy Sunday. After a very busy Saturday, we're looking forward to it as we wrap the year up, Phil, through our November, but we're still listing, even now, as we speak. Forthcoming auction signs are going up, photography's being done, floor plans are being made, we're doing copywriting for new listings that are still going on, Phil. People are still squeezing in for this year. It's going to go very late.
It is, Gary. It is.
A couple of other properties to feature, Philip. 14 Fairfield Grove is an upcoming property in December. What a beautiful looking home this is.
Gary, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, double lock-up garage, single story living at its finest, and a great address.
Plenty of people have been coming to this home, Phil, worthy of a special mention too, at 44 Snowdon Avenue, Caulfield.
Gary, first of all, we love Snowdon Avenue,
Sure
obviously
do.
selling there last weekend, but we sell regularly in Snowdon. It's one of the best located streets in Caulfield with the tram in Hawthorne Road and, you know, access to Princes Park and Caulfield Park. This is the rear one of 2, freestanding. The driveway's on title. That's a great opportunity for, you know, anybody, because ultimately it could be a downsizer or a right sizer, it could be a young couple, it could be a family. Great opportunity.
That's a big wrap on this week's GPTV as we review some of our fine November listings, Phil, and we get prepared for the big March home, Phil. It's going to be an exciting finish to the year. I'm feeling it. Still plenty of good offerings to go around. If you wanted to buy this year, grab one of our wonderful homes. And if you wanted to sell, have a chat to us about how we can make it happen for you this year or position you for next year, because we've already got some listings coming for next year, some exciting ones as well.
Gary,
Phil.
you're taking so long to wrap up this episode of GPT. Viewers, thank you for watching. I'm Philip Kingston. Have a fantastic week.
See you next week. Thank you.